Okay, so tonight we are playing some Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea. Actually, we're playing the second part of the Rats in the Walls and Other Stories. So I guess this, no, the perils, I should say. I'm covering other perils. This is one of the other perils. Again, this is Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea. So kind of a first edition clone in a sense, with a lot of added stuff. A little bit more kind of sword and sorcery based, human only, and the characters have been in this coastal city, this port city now for a little bit, and gaining some of them have had some adventure here. Some are trying to have adventure, and you guys have caught the eye of a certain man who goes by the name of Tull Kamtose. He is the leader, we'll say, or of a new kind of unofficial renegade, however you want to say it, thieves guild. And he's you know that he you've heard his name around. He does a few things. He owns a couple of taverns. He's got he manages some bare knuckle fighting, like illegal fighting, like a fight club. He also has a house of ill repute, if you will, or maybe good repute, depending on how you fancy that. And so he's got his fingers in a few things. And when you hear, you all know each other, and you're kind of brought in as a group, probably through the one of you who is most connected to the Thieves Guild, to meet with him, and he has a proposal for you. So I'm going to see if I can do this. Okay. All right, so I'm unclick myself here. Okay. So you're in a tavern, not one of his taverns. He's kind of sitting in the back, though, surveying. You can tell, he's one of these guys that's well known. You've definitely heard the name. He's a master thief. He's also a cleric or a religious, spellcaster who worships the god of thieves, as well as Xathoqqua, which is kind of the most common of the gods around here, kind of a god of chaos, but kind of the general god of chaos, not so much like destroy the world chaos. And he's sitting back there at his table with these two very large women who are dressed, in leather armor and are bearing large weapons. He's kind of dressed in fancy clothes. And when he sees you, he kind of raises a glass and beckons the group to come over. So I'm just going to start with the first person I see, which is Tony. And can you go ahead and introduce your character and let me know how you want to approach the table, or how you want to do it that Tull is calling you over to.
It's seeing being motioned over to the table. This very short man, maybe 5'2" or 5'3", but very athletic build. He's bare-chested, wearing no shirt, but he's wearing a kind of like almost top of a leather skirt or something around his waist, and pants. But his arms are wrapped up in these leather wrappings, his arms and his hands all the way up past his elbows. You see this very large tattoo across one side of his shoulder, coming down across through his chest. And a full head of black hair and a black mustache and black beard. He's moving very slow, but he sees the motion to be brought into that table, and he looks over and he nods. As he walks over, he motions with one of his hands as to ask permission to sit down. He goes, "Yes, I'm the one known as Rilzan. That is who I am. I'll be glad to sit and entertain with your permission. I'm going to be playing Rilzan the monk."
Tull nods and motions for at one of the seats there. He says, "Please sit, good Rilzan. And who are these with you?" And he motions towards Crystal's character.
Callias is when they get motioned. They're currently at the bar. They have a drink on the table in their cup or whatever, and they're flirting with this girl, telling about how they're an adventurer. That's Goliath is basically telling her that he's an adventurer. He's going to be rich soon. He has an opportunity with this particular guild, and he's a shoe to get in already. uh, Callias himself, uh, uh, um, he has a bit of a, let's call it like a robust chest, and he has sort of effeminate features about him. He almost he's not exactly masculine, let's say, but you can tell that he definitely tries to deepen his voice a little when he speaks. And so when he sees he gets wave over, he's kind of like, yes, darling, let me just go see what these gentlemen need of me, and you just grab yourself a drink, and I'll be right back. And he gives the woman wink as he begins to make his way over, and says, I am, of course, Callias. Surely you've heard of, or I'm not surprised you haven't heard of me, being a little bit new to this area and all.
You notice immediately that the two women that are at the table with him are of the similar culture, the same culture as you. They're Amazonian women. They kind of squint their eyes and kind of look at you. They don't say anything now. He says, sit. I've heard many good things about you. And at that, he looks up towards Jog's character.
Walking up to the table is this guy. You see a compact, broad-shouldered young man with dense, messy, wavy shoulder-length, dark orange hair, and seen in a studded brown leather armor with long torso. He looks quite tall, but you notice that his stocky legs are about half a foot shorter than you expected. The muscle-bound warrior stands only about 5 and 3 feet tall. He shoots a long, piercing glance in your direction with his bright green eyes set above his dashing scar across his face. The glance is just long enough for you to recognize him as one of those Pictish barbarian brutes. On him, you notice a wolf pelt scabbard with leather straps holding a large bastard sword with a brass pommel that is missing a pommel gem. A short bow next to a quiver full of about a dozen arrows, and a large round wooden shield is slung across his back. And he walks up to you. He says, I've seen you before, and I know who you are. Tull Kamtose. I am Centus Most Nepos Aviragi. You can call me Arvi. I'm happy to meet you. Yeah, he sits down.
He says, sit, and he raises his hand, like not even, it's a crowded bar and it's busy, and, normally if you want one of the barmaids to come, you'd have to like yell and barmaid and put your hand up, but he literally just raises his hand, like it doesn't say a word, and immediately there's 2 barmaids at the table bringing drinks for you all. And they say, anything else that you need, let us know. And they kind of look around, a little nervous, maybe, like they can tell that possibly if they don't serve him well, that they may not have a job tomorrow. And he says, have you eaten? Can I get you some food?
My belly is nearly as empty as my pockets. Callias says. He's trying to smile and trying to appear confident as he talks.
So
Thank you, but my body.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Thank you for the offer, but my body is a temple that I work on and progress with each day, and I have taken in the calories that I need for today. But thank you, and I know No drink either. I would be glad to have any water, but that's it. Thank you, though.
Okay.
Barbarian says, only a fool or infirm would decline to have some food that's offered by Tull Kamtose. I would love to have some food. Thank you.
Aye. Short life we have. Might as well be a merry one. ARV?
You said it, Callius.
So he looks at the barmaids who quickly scurry off and come back with drinks first. Water for Rilzen, and ales for the other two, and food shortly follows. But in the time in between, you can see, he says, he's speaking very confidently. Maybe you've been part of these kind of clandestine meetings before, and generally people look shaky. He does not. He looks like he owns the place, even though you as far as you know, he doesn't own this tavern. He says, "This Golgaros, slimy, underhanded merchant, he somehow pulled off, we'll say, less than fair bid last week at the auction." And he's he looks and says, "I wanted the llama's heart," and he slides over like a drawing, a sketch of it, and he explains that it is it's a large ruby worn about the neck, and his wife, who is only with him clearly for the money, she's young and beautiful, he's an old man, is wearing it now proudly. That needs to be mine. And I think that you could get it for me.
At the mention of the name of Gall Garrus, you see Rilzan's arms that he tenses and closes and clenches his fist, and you see the wrappings around both arms just kind of like they're going to burst and break apart at the mention of that name, but he doesn't say anything.
At the mention of the name Golgaris, Arvi observes Rilzan's reaction, and he starts to laugh. He goes, "You're not the only one. Golgaris cheated me out of my pommel gem. I found out later, after the game, that he used the weighted bone dice. He's got something coming for him. I'll be happy to work for you."
Excellent. Yes, he's definitely a man of deceit, and not with the eloquence that we operate. He then shows you this drawing. He says, "Seems like you know him, but just in case." And this is basically he explains to you that it was a sketch that was made in preparation for a painting, and he says, "If you need this for reference, or we'll destroy it, but just so you know who." And he kind of looks and says, "Look at her. She's practically twice his height. Why such a beautiful woman would be with him, I do not know. But clearly it's because of the money. Some people will do anything for money," he says. And then you kind of look at him, and he's got like these like rings on that are worth more than you've ever like seen in your life. He's clearly loaded. And he tells you 5 blocks from the pier is where his mansion lies. We know this. It is guarded by dogs and guards on patrol in pairs. I don't want blood of children on my hands, and he does have children, so please be discreet. He has a young boy and girl, as well as servant staff of an old man and woman that clean the house, and a stable hand. We haven't been able to get any kind of a map of the interior, but I can show you the exterior. He just looks up very briefly with his eyes to make sure nobody's looking, but he doesn't like get overly worried about it. Oh, no, that's not the map. It's in here somewhere. So he gives you, I'll find it, but he basically, he gives you like a map and he shows you the area around it. He also tells you that that he'll pay you. He says it seems like you have your own reasons, and perhaps you'll get your pummel stone back when you're in the house. But I was going to bid 1,200 gold for the Llama's heart, and thus I will pay you for recovering it from me. And he says, and he also kind of looks at one of the two large women that are next to him, the Amazonian women, and one of them takes like a backpack, and kind of like she's got it next to her chair, and she just kind of like picks it up and like puts it so it's on the other side, so kind of closest to whoever's sitting next to her. And he says, "There's some things in here that will help you as well." And he said, then just as that happens, like the food comes, and he says, eat though, enjoy yourself, spend the night, have some pleasure, and we will celebrate again when you've done this job for me. Perhaps there'll be a position for you, Collis.
Well, that would be quite an honor. I'll make sure that I do this well as to impress you.
I don't know about you two, but 400 apiece sounds reasonable to me. What about you, Kallias? Rilzan?
I do not need large amounts of coin. I will ask that my majority of my share be donated to one of the temples that I was trained in.
Well, I was hoping that you would donate some of them to me, but well, we'll make sure.
When you pull these jokes towards a man in comments, he never replies. He just looks at you real stone faced, and you can't read exactly what he's feeling.
Loosen up a bit, Rilzan. I was just kidding.
Well, either way, I don't aim to disappoint, and the offer seems more than generous, sir. Yes, I believe I will eat and be merry while I still can, Kallias says. And he kind of looks at the two women that are eyeing him and sort of like looks down at his plate and just sort of like rubs his face a little bit.
You notice that when the food comes over, they put a platter in front of Tull, and he kind of pushes it away a little bit. And when one of the women like actually tastes the food and sips his drink before he indulges in any of it, and if you notice it and maybe make a reaction, he kind of just says, "You can never be too careful," and then he starts to enjoy the food. If you have other questions or anything for him tonight, he'll stick around for an hour or so while you're eating, and then eventually he'll leave you with an open tab. So if there's anything you want to ask, this would be the time.
Do any of these servants ever leave the property? Do you think that maybe we could talk to them, get some information about what goes on in the house itself, or maybe where this woman keeps her locket?
Well, that sounds very reasonable. You can, case the joint, as they say, and find out.
All right.
Yeah. I can tell you this: when we've seen her as of late, she wears the locket directly between her supple breasts.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I want to know if the children are hers.
Yeah, you think so? The children are like probably like between 5 and 7 years old. She's like in her young 30s, and as far as he knows, they're her children. Yes.
Do you know if she has
he says, and he laughs.
Do you know if she has a lover?
We do not know.
We'll find out. And with that, Arby, finishes his food and says, "I'm going to bed right now. I'm tired."
Okay. Yeah, he leaves. It's actually Saturday night, and you know that he organizes these kind of illegal bare knuckle fight club So after a little bit, he excuses himself from you, but he does say to the serving lady that's serving you, take care of them all night, and then he kind of leaves with his 2 guards.
Do we know about the bare knuckle fights?
Yeah, it's known. I mean, it's illegal, but everybody knows about it.
Goliath would say to Rilzan, hey Rilzan, I heard he has these fights that go on. If you were to get in on it, I might bet a few gold on you. You know what I mean?
That is a tempting offer and something I would attempt, but hearing the name of Gal Garas as our target, I want to focus all my energy on that for now. I believe that much like our large companion, I will retire for the evening and meditate and prepare myself for what we must do tomorrow. But if we all come back from that, yes, one night I will be glad to go and see what I can do with what I've been trained in myself to see if we can put some more coin in your pocket.
Sounds good, buddy. Sounds good. Short in life and a merry one at that. He kind of holds up a glass to toast your water.
Okay, yeah. So you guys, I mean, you're living in town, so you have some place to stay. So you leave. I'm assuming you're all staying in the same place. Somebody's going to take the. I don't know if I shouldn't say that because character is not leaving it unless you want to. But is somebody taking that backpack?
I was going to say if the other 2 leave it, Callias would definitely take it.
Okay.
And really, he would. Callias would like to take it because he would like to look at what kind of things are in there. I mean, being a thief and everything, he's kind of trained to make the best of all the items that he has.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, unless anybody else disagrees. And I guess you enjoy the night. Unless there's something specific you want to do, I'll just cut back to the hotel or the inn or whatever that you guys are staying in. You check the bag. When you get into a place that's private, there is another sketch of the heart, and also the picture that he had put on the table somehow is in that bag now. So somehow he sleight-handed it into the bag. How he did it, you don't know, but he's a pretty remarkable thief. In addition to that, there's and you would know this because it's written within the thief's hand. There's a vial of poison. It's an ingestible poison that you know to be pretty deadly. And there's also a vial with a healing elixir and a potion of healing. And finally, there is a spyglass.
Interesting. Okay. Those will actually help. Oh, I'm sorry. Did we have a particular amount of time?
Nope.
I forgot to ask. Okay.
No. I mean, if you had asked him that, he's not in a rush. He says, I do not want it tied back to me. I do not want you to get caught. Take your time, but you'll get paid when it's recovered. So, but yeah, you're not in a particular time rush. You can take your time.
All right.
I mean, you probably get the feeling that he assumes you're going to, because he had mentioned about, whatever that idea that you had if you wanted to check it out.
All right. If I'll poison, a healing potion, and then a spyglass.
Yep. It's an ingestible poison, so like you wouldn't want it on your dagger, you got to feed it to somebody.
Right. Okay. All right.
Okay, so we'll cut to the morning. If you were to go, just like to case the joint, if you will, you would see this configuration. On the outside of it, you see that like dotted thing around it. That's actually a fence. It's about 8 foot tall. It's made of iron. The tops of it are spiked, so spiked iron posts. The bars are about 6 inches apart. There are 2 gates. There's one kind of on the southern side, and one kind of on the diagonal part of it. But on the northern side, you see a gate as well. These gates are The streets, by the way, it's Sunday, so there's not too many people around. But I mean, you just kind of go by quickly. You know, these would be during a weekday fairly heavily trafficked streets. Right now, like I said, it's Sunday, so there's not that many people around. But as I mentioned, the fence is wrought iron. It's 8 feet tall, spiked at the top. There's 6-inch gaps. The gates are iron reinforced with pine. So the gates are basically the iron bars, but then they have like pine going across. And you see that each of the gates have a brass bell hanging there. So you would ring it if you want to get attention of the the household or whatever. You can probably tell just by walking by quickly that this area here is in the center is the main house. And then off to what will be the left of it, you can clearly see there's like a driveway there. That's like a state, like the way they keep the cart or the horses or whatever. The other two things are probably sheds. You can't really, that's all you can really tell without spending time.
Okay. These things, these little dark things, are those trees or bushes?
They are trees.
Okay.
Yeah. The building as well is three stories, basically a ground floor, a first floor, and then like but it's gabled, so it goes. The ground floor and the next floor are the full size of the house, and then the top of the house is like small, like it's got like it has like on the very very top of the house there's a large like cistern that collects rainwater.
You probably just told us this too, and I probably missed it. But is there like a city street that runs in front of the gate?
Yeah.
Or okay.
There is actually, yeah, all three of them. It's basically kind of like this area may have been. I mean, you don't know, you haven't been here long enough. Maybe it was like a park, like one of those intersections where there might have been a park at some point, where three roads intersected, or some kind of like outdoor, trading post back when it wasn't really a big city. So yeah, there's actually roads going on all three sides. Let me just make sure that's true, but I believe so.
How much do 2 gates?
There are 2 gates, but there's roads on 3 sides.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So are we all looking at the map, and do we know what Crystal received in the bag?
I was going to say that in the morning, Callias would probably call everyone in like one of the bedrooms. Doesn't matter which one really, except not his. And then he'd probably say like, these are the things you receive. This is a vial of poison. This is a healing potion, it seems, And then we got a really nice spyglass here. So, yeah.
When I first came to the town, I trusted that man. I walked in and he offered to play a game, so I agreed. I started winning, and eventually he raised the stakes, and I ended up betting my own jewel, the jewel of my sword. And later on, I found out that he used the weighted dice to win that game. I want him to feel that betrayal. With that poison.
When you tell your story, Rilzan listens intently, and he crosses both arms. And one thing the companions will notice today, he's wearing like a leather tunic shirt that is covering just a normal clothing with a leather tunic shirt. He still has his arm wrappings, but he looks and he crosses his arms and he goes, at least what the man did to you did not result in another person's death at the end. And he leaves it at that. He says nothing else.
Well, Rilzan, what happened to you? You could tell us, so that we would actually understand your reason for joining in this heist.
The man that we are going to retrieve this item from is a very evil-minded man. He lets the money and the business dealings take over from what should be most important, to show compassion and love and friendship. Let's say his actions with someone dear to me resulted in an unfortunate death.
Harvey nods.
You would also know, so like I said, there's some streets going around. So basically, if you look at the kind of the diagonal part of it, That's kind of like the bigger street, and it's like wide enough for 2 carriages to pass. On the other side, there's like 1 or 2 kind of nicer houses, but they're actually surrounded by, not right next to this space around them, but they're surrounded by like kind of like clearly warehouses. You're only 5 blocks or so from the where the shipping comes in. So this is like a cheaper area to have warehousing. So you see some warehouses there. On the other the 2 flat sides, there's houses, but those streets are more narrow, and they're like smaller houses, like single-story houses.
Callias would like to suggest to the other 2 that we kind of like maybe watch this house, for at least for the day, to kind of see who goes in and out. And if any of the servants like leave, Callias would like to probably try and go talk to them. But Callias would like to watch this. Callias would be like, yeah, I think we should watch this place for the day. Kind of get to know the routine of the guards, see when they change shifts, stuff like that, and see if there's a best time to really go in there. And if this woman is seen carrying the jewel all the time, well, surely she doesn't wear it to bed. So it might be best to go in there, when we know that they're asleep.
Callias, that's a great idea. It's good to have you here and give us that idea. Another thing that I thought about is the reason why that woman, his wife, is with him. I don't think he likes that short little bastard. If we could get her on our side, she could make a little deal with us.
What makes you think that she doesn't like him?
Look at that man. You remember that picture? That short, ugly, cheating bastard standing next to that beautiful, buxom woman. Why on earth, like Tull mentioned, or Gull mentioned, why would she stay with him? It's only for money.
Do you have enough to attract her away from his money and his treasures? I do not think that you can match what he gives her. She will not sell him out.
I'm not. But what is she to gain? If he were to die, then all of that wealth would be hers. She's in there for money.
No, I do not believe we should approach her in the manner of what you speak. I do not believe that does not sound to me that it will work out.
Well,
yeah, I don't even know if we could get her away from her husband to speak to her anyway. So,
well, whatever it is, we could watch and see if she leaves all by herself. Maybe she has a lover on the side. You know what I'm saying? It's not uncommon in this city. I see it all the time.
Well, that is true, and I guess that if you were close and quite enough, pretty much like myself and Callias would be, that while she is disrobed with her lover, that jewel may be laying there in an open window somewhere.
Well, I'm not really in this job for the money. I just want that bastard killed. And with that poison, she could pour the poisoned wine. She could drink it herself. And with that antidote, if she's suffering, then she could drink the antidote and cure herself. And with that, if we make that possible...
Antidote. We have no antidote. I don't know where you got antidote from. It's a healing potion. It's magical.
Okay, was it a healing potion or an antidote?
Yeah, it's a healing potion.
Damn it. I guess you're right.
Arvi, we will trust you and your weapons to do the part of what is needed most.
Yeah, I'll just stick with what I'm good at, slashing the bastards.
Yeah, I think trying to get into the property might be a better choice, and there might even be an easy way in there. Like I said, I'd like to talk to the servants. Depending on how well he treats them, they may be, more perceptive to,
How do you propose to approach the servant? Are you going to approach under the guise of being maybe a merchant yourself to to let them think that maybe you would like to speak with their master about some goods or something, or
Yeah, sounds like a pretty good. Sounds like a pretty good cover story. I
So
can probably
about
pull that
now,
off.
not to cut you off, but about now you guys have kind of walked around the whole property. Probably in that amount of talking is probably as long as it takes. Where did you want to go from there? I mean, I'm assuming you're not going to keep walking around in circles. I mean, maybe you are. You can do that short. You can be seen if you just keep walking around in circles.
Yeah, no, I mean, I wouldn't even necessarily want to walk in circles. I'd like if there's a place that we could actually just hide out, especially like on top of a hill or something. We got that spyglass, so we
Yeah,
could be pretty far away.
There's no hills. There's, again, across the diagonal, there's like a double wide street. And over there's a few kind of bigger houses and a couple of warehouses. And on the other two, the flatter sides are kind of smaller single story houses. There's no hill. You're kind of in the middle of a town.
What about like? Is there anywhere we can go like away? Like, is there anywhere we could go away and be able to still see the house somewhere not so obvious?
I mean, as soon as you get away from the house more than a block, you're not going to be able to see it because the other house will be blocking it.
Okay.
A spyglass is not a telescope. It's like a
Yeah.
You can like maybe double your vision, so it's not going to do much if you went all the way out of town.
Okay.
Yeah.
the deal on the map, like so say if we're looking at a clock hand, like I'm gonna say call it about 5 o'clock. That's like a building, an outbuilding that's by itself there?
Yes.
Do we know what it is though? Would we have any information
Let me see.
on what it's used for?
Yeah, you actually see when you're doing your lap, like you guys kind of walk around, in the morning just to kind of get a feel for it. That's what I'm saying. Like all that talking and what I told you was what you could see during that period. You can see it's open from the southern side, which is the bottom of the screen. You could see the open part. There's no door on it. And at one point you see a couple of dogs come out of it. So you think it's probably like the dog's house kennel.
Do we see any people coming out, kennel masters or anything? Or
yeah, while you're there, kind of again, it's there's not a lot going on, but you do actually see at one point, not there, but on the what would be the west side, the bigger building, that those big double doors are open, and you can see the interior of it. And there's a wagon in there, and behind it an area for a horse, and you see a guy in there like kind of feeding the horses. You see one man. And then also, I mean, at some point you're going to see, well, actually, let me see. Yeah, actually, you also see there's 2 guards, clearly guards because they are dressed. They have crossbows in their hands, and I mean they're armed guards, 2 of them, and they have. I think they had just like leather armor on. So they just have like leather, tunics on, and they actually have shields on their backs, so not armed, and they're carrying crossbows. They don't seem to be like super alert, but they're kind of walking the area. And
they're just like walking patrol or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. There's 2 of them. They come from they start from that same place where the wagon is. They'll say probably the way that would work out is the wagon door opened up and you see the guy in there cleaning, and when you do, these 2 guards walk out and start doing a patrol around.
Are there only 2 guards on patrol? We don't see any more than 2?
You don't see any more than 2. I mean, by the time you've walked around, they haven't even finished walking around yet. So yeah, you don't see any more guards. Again, unless you want to hang out in the street. Anywhere you could hang out, unless you go into a building or something, you're going to be a chance of just being seen if you're just hanging out there.
Okay. We can head back to the hotel so we can plan this a little bit more. I mean, we're not going to plan to go till at least nighttime anyway, right? We did think it was a good idea to go when everyone's asleep.
Oh, yeah, cover a night, yeah.
Yeah, reel's on. Let's wait until 4 in the morning.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you can go back to the hotel and plan or whatever. If there's anything you need to do, like if you want to buy any gear or whatever.
Yeah, RV goes to buy some masks, like, some sort of a hood that would definitely cover his face if he were to go in there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You can probably get some kind of like cloth or whatever you can wrap around your face, like a bandana.
Yep.
So one thing that Kyla would propose is let's get some meat and put this poison on it, and we can feed it to those dogs.
Yes, especially if they are out on during the night. That would be the best way to try to keep them quiet.
Must we kill the dogs?
I mean, the dogs are going to make a lot of noise if they see us on the property. There's only 2 guards. I think that you and Real Song can handle those if we're spotted, but dogs they're a little bit more complicated and a lot louder.
Yeah, and I should also point out, because you saw the dogs, they're actually like I don't want to say they're wearing armor, but they have like leather like
armored Rottweilers.
Yeah, like they've got like a harness, a leather harness on them. So they're definitely like some kind of a guard dog. You can definitely tell that. It's pretty obvious. They're not like, poodles.
If we are fortunate enough that nighttime and early morning there will be no guards walking the estate, they will be asleep also, we can hope, but probably let the dogs patrol at night.
Yeah.
All right, then. Let's get some meat. I want to go to sleep if we're going to wake up at around 4 in the morning.
Let's do it around 2 in the morning. Much darker.
Well, you know what you're doing. I'll trust you on that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's only a handful of blocks to the place, so you certainly can stay inside, and then just take you a few minutes to get there. So you're gonna get some cloth to wrap around your face like masks. You're gonna get some raw meat, I guess, to put the poison on.
Yep.
All right. So I mean, you probably spend like
let's see. Do either of you have a lantern? Let me see. I have torch. I have a couple of torches. I would really like a lantern though, with like a sack over it, so we can make like a hooded lantern.
No, Real Zen doesn't have anything. He's probably prefer cover darkness as most as it can.
Yeah. What about RV?
Well, you want a hooded lantern? I got one. And he goes back to his room and comes back with it.
Well, we're going to need some kind of light source. I mean, but I would like something hooded so that...
Well, you got it. You handle my hooded lantern, all right? And I got these too. And then he holds up the 50-foot hemp rope and the grappling hook. Don't leave home without it.
Okay, nice. I have a grappling hook and I have some silk rope, so I'm good.
Okay.
Fancy.
When you offer Rilzon one of those masks, he declines and says, I have other preparations I make to disguise my face and stuff from the light of any natural moon or anything. I'm not worried about my face being seen, though. But thank you.
When you give Callias the mask, rather than putting it around his face and wearing it like a bandana, he folds it up and just ties his hair up in like so that it's just like a bandana around his head, and he tucks the hair he has kind of long hair, but he tucks it up into the bandana so it looks like real short, and he gets a mirror and starts to kind of examine himself and kind of smiles a little bit.
He nods. RV's preparation is that about, around midnight or so, he wakes up and he starts putting war paint, like these dark grease, over his face and body. And, even on top of that, around his mouth, he pulls up the bandana so that it hides the lower part of his face.
Okay. You definitely can do that. I mean, it is Sunday, as noted. Or whatever the equivalent of Sunday is. So yeah, when you kind of creep out of your room at 2 a.m., there's like nobody around. Like everybody's asleep because Sunday's not a day you're partying. And you creep down into the streets, and yeah, they're pretty deserted. You make your way to the area. So you're actually coming, where you're staying is near the docks, which is to the south. So you're actually coming towards basically what would be the bottom of the screen. I mean, you can come from any direction you want, but that's more or less where you're coming from. So where do you want to go, and what do you want to do, I guess is the question. As you're kind of, I mean, you're pretty obviously, well, at least the painted barbarian. What's
Rilzon is bare chested again, but he has done pretty much like Arvi. He's taken on what you would think would be some type of black grease or black stuff, and he has put across his face and streaked across his face and his forehead, and it's covering his chest and his back the best he could.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, if somebody was to see you, it's yeah. Or you wouldn't be able to be like, "Oh, it's gone for a while."
Yeah, I mean,
This is like the only one that probably looks somewhat normal.
I mean, I'm imagining that there's no street lights or anything like
Well,
that.
no, there's not. It's dark. I'm just saying if some just if somebody sees you, I'm just trying to imagine, just in case this happens. I'm not saying.
Yeah, don't turn the lights on.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell are you wearing?
Yeah, I mean, it takes a few minutes. By the time you walk 4 or 5 blocks, your eyes adjust. The moons are out. There's actually multiple moons for it. So it's not super dark, but it's dark. In general.
Yeah,
It's as dark as it's going to get.
Okay.
So yeah, you're able to make your way up without like running into walls and stuff. And where do you want to approach from? Like I said, to the what would be the northeast, so the diagonal part of the triangle is kind of a double wide street, as I mentioned, with warehouses and kind of larger mansion-ish kind of houses, and then the other 2 streets are more kind of normal size.
Arby would suggest the left side, the western side.
I think like we probably would have talked about this before we left. That way we know what we're doing as soon as we get there. Like we're not like, oh crap, we're here. What do we do? So what Callias would have suggested is that like Rilzon and RV could wait kind of like on the south side at the gate door. Like, if they can sort of get down and so they can be hidden. And Callias will head over towards the dog kennel. And like that way he's on the opposite side of the gate, but he could toss that steak into the dog kennel that way.
Yeah, I got that's a question I was going to have, Daniel. The fence itself, you said, is about 8 foot tall, but is it a solid fence or does it have openings in it?
No, it's an iron fence with 6 inches between the iron bars.
Oh, okay, good. Okay.
Yeah, only the gates are more or less solid because they're the same iron bars, but they have some thick pine boards across them.
Yeah, knowing that, yeah, Rilzon would definitely agree with what Callias is ideal there. Maybe they would stay at the what we'll call the 7 o'clock. Maybe stay there at that corner. Kind of looks like there's a bush or a tree there.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Stay on the outside where it protects us.
Perfect.
Unless someone has a really high charisma, then Callias, I guess, will take the food to offer it to the dogs. Hopefully, they won't bark if Callias is on the, outside of the fence.
Okay. Yeah. So when you approach and kind of get in a position, you can already see, from your kind of bush. But I don't know, maybe you guys split up before you probably split up further south and then go to where you're going. So you actually see as you kind of get to the thing that the dogs are actually kind of in that corner over by the kennel. There's actually 3 of them. And you can see that they're just kind of like, doing dog things. Like they're not humans, right? So they don't walk like a guard path. They're just kind of like hanging out in that general area. So they're over there. So if you head in that direction, you'll definitely be near them. In addition to that, interesting. Right by the gate. So actually very close to where you were going to go with the bushes, and you can obviously change your mind because you see this. You see the 2 guards. You see that they're walking in a kind of a counterclockwise way. So they're coming from where the dogs were, and they're walking towards, I guess, where the stable is. Currently they're like right where it says ground floor. They're like right in that spot. And you see
Would
that.
there be a way for us to get in some area though where we could maybe keep an eye on them to see kind of if they follow the actual path, the the road or whatever, the path there, or if they go all the way to the corner without them seeing us?
Yeah, I mean, there's houses on the other side of the street, and those houses have like, maybe some shrubberies where you could probably jump in one of those bushes across the street and try to hide there.
Rilzan would definitely try that because he wants to try to keep an eye on to see kind of their path that they make. They cutting corners or they actually patrolling around the whole ground.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's late and it's dark, and they're honestly not paying that much attention to you. You don't think, because they don't even look in your direction. They walk up. Actually, though, Crystal, your character is on the other side. They might see you because you're kind of you also see this, so you're going to stick to your plan and go around the open side.
If I see the guards, if I see the guards, I'm gonna stop and I'm just gonna like get on the ground, like lay prone, and wait till they pass by.
Okay, so just like right there. Okay, that's fine. Let's do a hide for you. What's your hide?
Okay. My hide is I wrote it down this time. 5 out of 12.
Okay.
Oh man.
I'm giving you a bonus because it's dark and they're not really paying attention. So I'm giving you a 7 out of 12. Yeah. So you see him and you get down low. When you do, like that, one of them kind of looks like kind of around, but he kind of keeps his eyes up, like he doesn't look down on the ground. He kind of looks just generally in that direction, and then he kind of shrugs and they start walking. So they walk up to that path, like you were asking about, Tony. They actually do. They walk right to the path. And they walk straight up between the two buildings.
Between the house and the
between the house
and
and
the other building. Okay.
Towards that other building, it looks like. And they, I'm not long gonna watch them. So you see them start to walk up that way, and now they're kind of out of your view.
Wait, are they heading south or north?
They're going north.
Okay.
Yeah, they're starting where it says basically when you first see them, they're kind of standing by the bottom basically by the gate, and they start to head north towards the other gate. And at that point, so they get like about halfway up the path, and then, Crystal's character, I'm sorry, Callias, I should write that down.
Callias, yeah.
Callias, you don't see them anymore because they walk out of your view, they already can't see you.
Okay. And so Callias will quickly head over towards the dog kennel.
The dogs are also starting to head north. They were basically down in that corner, and then when the guards went kind of north, they also head north, but they're heading north along the diagonal. So at this point, they're kind of like just past the kennel.
Okay, that's where I'm headed.
Okay. Do you want to try to move quickly so you get in front of them, or are you just going to watch to see where they go?
I kind of want to catch up to them. So yeah, I'll move a little bit quickly.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, you do. I mean, you pace them. I mean, they're not running. They're just going. And by the time you get probably like almost to that corner where the bush is on the big house, the northern side of the big house, not where that bush is, very close to the fence. They actually pass kind of close to the fence to get around that tree, and you basically kind of encounter them right there, if you want. They do not actually react at all to you while you're on the other side of the fence unless you do something. Okay. Like they don't seem to pay any attention to you.
Callias will kind of whistle at them, like a very low whistle, like, hey boy. And she will pull that stake that they poisoned. She's going to pull that from wherever she's had it. And he's going to show it to them and see if they'll show interest in it first.
Okay. Yeah, why not?
And then
yeah, they do. One stops and turns, and then when the other two stop, then two maybe about 5 or 6 feet forward to that one, and then it starts to sniff.
And then with that, Callias will toss the stake between the fence and let them go at it.
Okay, so just how many pieces of steak have you got, and how did you do it? Like, are they all poisoned, or just one of them? You put one big piece of steak. Like, how exactly is this?
Well, I was gonna interject if I can. You said earlier that day we saw 3 dogs, right?
You saw 2 earlier. But there are
2.
3.
Okay, I'm sorry, but yeah, I would have suggested while we made our preps there that day to have 2 different pieces of meat, since we knew how many dogs there were.
Okay, so you would have made one per dog that you saw, which was 2. Okay, that's fair.
Yes.
I should have that before, but that's the only 2 were out before. Okay, so you throw 2 pieces of steak. That's cool. Yeah, they're gonna eat it. Let's see if they fight over it. Yeah, there's like a little bit. They don't seem to make that much noise though. As they kind of, 2 of the 3 kind of went out and eat the steak. So there's technically only 1 dose of poison, right? So what I'm going to do is just give them a bonus to the saving throw, since they're not having a full dose. So let me see that. Their saving throw is... Visual saving throw. 16 is the saving throw. It already has a +1 for the type of poison it is, so I'll give them +3 total. Okay, so the first dog, okay, fails to save. Second dog passes. However, this poison, well, actually, they were on type of time to onset. Okay. So actually, I guess technically you don't. I mean, rounds are short, so it doesn't really matter. They're eating it. You don't notice right away. But let me just do their damage. The one that passed. Some pretty serious poison. Wow. Okay,
That's
so
a lot of dice rolled.
Yeah. Well, failed save is 66. So it's good poison. I told you. The first dog, after about 30 seconds, starts to like this is sad. It starts to whine a little bit, and then it starts to hack a little bit, and it maybe even like throws up a little bit, and then it just kind of goes down on the ground and dies. And then the dog that hadn't eaten any of the steak, because he's not involved in eating steak right now, kind of goes over to the dog and is actually sniffing and whining. And then within another like 20 or 30 seconds, the other dog falls dead as well.
And I know where this is all fixing to go wrong, but my character would not know this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see. I know where this is all about to go wrong too.
So that takes a weird amount of time. So what was your plan? You were going to go back and meet, right? So you guys just waiting? Okay.
So Callias, I don't think Callias would even necessarily wait to see if the poison works.
Okay.
I think he would have gone back around and been like, okay, the dogs are poisoned. However, there were 3 of them. And I saw 2 of them go for the steak, so we might have 1 dog left. I don't know.
Okay, no, that's fine. So we'll say you moved as soon as they started eating it. So based on how far away it is to get back to the other people, I would say it's going to take you, even if you're being relatively quiet, you're not going to sprint down the street. It's going to take you maybe like 4 or 5 rounds to get back to the rest of them. Mm-hmm. And you do that. Yeah. Nothing seems to have, you don't know if they died or not. I mean, I just told you, but whatever. I guess you don't take it.
So Callias would tell them, like, yeah, I poisoned them. 2 of them are down. There were actually 3 dogs. Let's do this. Hurry and get out.
I'm sure the great weapon of Harvey can swing and take down a canine.
Mm-hmm. So Callias will approach the fence. I'm sure it's locked.
It is 100%.
Okay, so Callias is going to attempt to pick lock.
Hey.
Before you start to do that, Rilzan would come up to you and tap you on the shoulder, and he would go, "Would it not be best that, with our talents that you have and I possess, that we could climb over this fence and gain entry much faster? And if Harvey cannot climb over, hopefully we can get the gate open real quick."
All right, makes sense.
You guys talking about climbing? I know how to climb.
Yeah. There's basically like a bar on the other side, exactly. So like you would realize that as soon as go ahead. If you stuck your head through, you'd see it. So it is locked, but yeah, you could also unlock it without a key from the other side by just lifting.
Oh, okay. All right, that sounds good.
You'll need to
Fine.
climb.
Yeah, I have a climb
9.
too.
Yeah, me too.
So everybody
Wait.
roll your climb. D12.
Oops, that was a 6. Wait, is over or under good? I don't.
Ooh, nice. I rolled 1.
That's
I needed
excellent.
to roll. Yeah, I needed to roll 8 in order to climb. But
Yeah, D12.
Okay, yeah, I see. So it is 8 out of 12. So I got to roll 8 or under, and I rolled a 6. So therefore, I made it.
I rolled a 2.
All right, yeah,
Nice.
you guys quickly make your way over the fence. Find harder things than this. You hit the ground. Let's see. Everybody just roll a d6. We'll do it that way.
Is it like for falling or something, or just something
No,
else?
no. Because
Okay.
just
Because I was going to say I have that controlled fall. Why can
no.
no fall without
I got
No.
3.
a 5?
3 for me.
okay.
2.
2. Okay. Yeah, you guys jump over the fence. Again, it's bright enough out here that you guys can see. You see the house in front of you. You've got that stables to the to your left, essentially, the house to the right, and of course the path going up the middle. You don't see anybody currently in any direction. Like the guards, you guys watch them walk up the path. They haven't come back yet, as far as you can tell. So where did you want to head to?
RV points up and says, "Let's climb up the house."
Makes sense.
Did we have the on that map and stuff? Did we have any knowledge of maybe where the bedrooms would be?
No, they just have
Okay.
And you guys didn't spend enough time like watching.
Should we take out the guards? Should we go ahead and find and take out the guards?
I'd say let's deal with it later. We don't have to kill them.
Yeah, we don't want them to wake people up though. We don't have enough time to argue. Let's just get in the house. Let's go.
As you say that, from the darkness.
This is part of that. We should have planned it ahead thing, but
Well, I mean, you didn't know that exactly what was going to happen. Either way, there were agreements. But either way, from out of the darkness, crossbow bolt, 2 of them actually, shoot out at the 2 of you. So everybody roll a d6.
Does it come from the direction of where we would know the guards would be coming around from?
Yeah, it's coming from the north.
Okay, just to make sure we wouldn't know it's got coming from another direction.
Yep, nope, they're coming from
Surprises. I had a 3.
do we add our
1d6?
dex modifier?
No, just a
1d6, right?
Yeah.
I rolled 1.
6.
okay. So it's good. They're going to go after the Killian and Dodger. All right, so it's Killian. 15. Their fighting ability is 1. So that hits AC 4. Does that hit you? I said Killian, but I meant Arby. Arby?
AC 4, yeah, that hits.
Okay, so you take a crossbow bolt, digs into your flesh, dig 4 points of damage. Against Wilson. Oh, wow, that's weird. Different die, but I also rolled a 15. So AC
It's
4.
coming towards me.
Yep,
AC what? I'm sorry.
4.
Yeah, but I'm going to try to use my block missile. Well, can I
Nice.
use that to
Yeah,
make
of
the
course.
vortex save?
Yep.
Yeah, Rilzan hears the whistle of it, looks about to point to see the bolt and tries to reach up and grab it. And he's not going to make it.
Ah, okay. Still epic.
Huh.
2 points of damage.
Daniel, did you say AC 4?
AC 4 is what it was, yeah.
Okay, I have AC of 3, AC versus missile, so I guess that's a miss, right?
Yeah, so that doesn't hit you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that with your shield? Like, do you have your shield out?
No, actually, that's studded leather and a large shield. I don't have my shield, so I guess that does hit.
Yeah, you're probably not looking around a shield. That would not be very.
I was only asking because we had just climbed the fence, so I'm just making sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if you'd take a shield with you if you were climbing. I mean, you can, I suppose, but your shield's kind of big. But anyways, it's up to you if you have not. You didn't say one way or the other, but I mean, you were moving into the house, so it's up to you if you're out or not. Okay, so yeah, you get hit. So now let's roll initiative. So that's just a side initiative. But first, before we roll initiative, you stay. What do you guys want to do? You can see that the arrows came from the darkness up. But I mean, it's probably common sense that they are hiding behind the building up there, one of the two buildings, or in the bushes. It's hard to see them because it's dark and they're kind of hidden. So what is the plan? You guys are basically right there at the path where they split. Where do you want to go?
I'm going to try to use my hide ability to vanish into the shadows.
Okay, which way?
We're at the kind of the
Yeah, where it divides in three places.
yeah, right there. Okay, and the crossbow bolts come from
The north.
back towards the east. We'll say.
No, from the north.
Oh, they come from the north. Okay, I misunderstood earlier. I'm going to try to move to that corner of the mansion. Like say, if we say that's 2 o'clock, like from the path we're at, run at 2 o'clock to that corner.
Okay, towards that.
Kind of hide in the shadows.
Okay, yeah, and you might also be out of their view just because you're not there. What about the other guys? Well, what does Avi want to do?
Harvey wants to get to the southern portion of the stable to get out of the way of those bolts.
Okay, so you're gonna run that way. And how about?
All right, they're coming from the north on the east side, right?
I mean, you can't see them. You know the arrows came from the north. You don't see them currently, so they went back around the corner after they shot the arrows.
All right, but I'm just saying, like that's like where they're coming from. Is that where the shots came from?
They
From
came
the
from the
northeast?
There's a building to the northeast of you. They came directly from the north. You're basically right there where the path breaks into 3 spots. You're standing in that clearing. They came from the north.
Okay. Callias would also like to do hide in shadows, and he's going to make his way towards the mansion as he does his hide.
All right, so two of you are running basically towards the door at the mansion, and the other one's running towards the other side. So you're basically moving out of the center, so hopefully being out of the way of the missile fire. Okay, that's cool. Roll initiative. So I guess we're gonna do the same thing, like roll until you fail, and I'm just gonna start with Tony. So D6 initiative. Cool. They got a 5.
Let me grab my D6. 2.
Okay, they go first. They're gonna shoot again at you guys before you get a chance to run. So let's see. Same thing. They're gonna shoot the same people. That's our right against the barbarian. Oh, actually missed that time because I rolled a 13. It just barely hit you last time because you are armor class 4.
That's
armor class 6.
No,
okay.
no, actually armor class 5.
No, but that's armor class 6, so it misses.
Yeah.
And against the monk, 12 on the die, which is armor class 7.
Yep, I'm 7, so
Yeah,
that gets me.
Okay. It's a missile weapon if you want to try to block it.
Yeah, I'll try my Vorten steel again. Crap, rolled the same exact thing, failed.
Oh, no. 2 more points of damage.
How many?
2 more.
That drops me to 0 exactly.
Oh, geez, okay. Yep, you drop. And now it's your turn. You're on the ground, unconscious, basically. Well, you guys are going to run. Well, that's what you were going to do, but it's up to you if you just want to do it.
Yeah, you see Rilzan in fixing to take mid stride and just collapse to the ground with another bolt sticking out of
I'm
him.
going to block this. I picture that like you got shot twice, both times in the hands because you reached up to catch it. Okay, so what is it? I mean, you guys can, you chose to move, but do you want to still do what you're going to do? You can still going to run where you're going.
I can't like change what I wanted to do, right?
I mean, you still need to move. So you could like, what is it you want to do? Like you could pick him up or go drop to the ground or run to a different direction, but you can't like shoot an arrow now.
Well, Arvi, seeing his friend drop, I'm imagining Rilzan to be a little lighter in build, so he grabs him by the back of the tunic, and he carries him. He's pretty strong and tosses him.
You'd have to throw him. He's bare chested just to clarify.
Is he wearing like a belt or something?
Yeah, like those belts he wears on his picture. Yeah, he looks like that right now.
Yeah, so, on his back, he grabs the belt portion, he picks him up, and he runs towards the southern side, like I described earlier, of the stable.
Could I
Okay.
choose to move that way
Yeah, that's fine.
instead of towards the mansion?
Yeah, you can definitely do that. And let's see. So you're okay. So now you're carrying. How much do you weigh, Rilsan?
Rules on.
I don't know. I mean, he doesn't carry much. I mean, he's just pretty much.
But how much do you weigh?
He's
I'm
a
just
small.
gonna-
Oh, he's small frame. Like I pictured him as like about 5'2" and very slim build, probably 110, maybe 120.
Okay.
He's very small.
I'm just gonna say it slows you down by 10 then.
Okay.
That's fine. So you've only got him, but you only have to move like 15 feet. So you definitely can get to this side of the building, even carrying him. No problem. So you're able to run. All of you are able to run to basically the stables side, which should keep you clear of any missile fire. You imagine?
I think Crystal's character ran the other way, towards the house.
Well, no, but then
So-
she wanted to change it.
Okay.
That's what you said, right, Crystal? You switched
Yeah.
it to one run. Okay.
Yes.
So
If
now
I
you
can still do. If I I mean,
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know if I can hide from the guard and not hide from my friends. If not, then I'm just not gonna hide this time.
I guess you could definitely say, I'm gonna be over here in this way, and go and hide yourself.
No, I'm just not gonna hide this time. Well, I said I was gonna hide, so if I have to still hide, then go
You
ahead.
don't have to still hide. You can always not do the thing you said. You just can't add something else.
Okay, that's fine then. I'm
so you
gonna
can-
not hide this time.
That's fine. So you run to the side of the stables. I mean, you're out of the way of any missiles that are coming from the direction they were coming from. For sure. But you're still in combat. So let's roll initiative again. So I guess now we'll do Young roll initiative d6. Oh, they got a 1.
I got 3.
Okay. So I mean, I didn't make you state your actions. Well, what is it you want to do? You
Um,
don't see them currently.
Elias is gonna pull out the healing potion,
Oh.
and he's gonna feed it to Rilzon.
Oh, thank God, there's a healing potion. Oh man.
RV is basically slapping him.
It's funny because I was actually thinking about giving it to Rilzon because I thought he'd be the one that would most be able to give it to either me or. I was thinking about giving it to. I was thinking about giving it to Tony's character. Yeah, Rilzon. Yeah, because
Just
I
to
thought.
cure it.
Because I thought, well, the barbarian's going to be in combat, and then you're the one that would most likely be up if one of us went down. And so now I'm glad I didn't do that.
So if you drink the whole potion, which I guess is what you're gonna do, it's 2d4 plus 2, or you can drink half the potion and get 1d4 back.
I guess it'd be up to me to feed it.
Yeah.
I would feed you. I mean, would I know how potent it is?
Yeah. I mean, you know that it heals less than half if you drink half of it. Yeah. I mean, hit points aren't a real thing, but
Right.
it's not like you discuss like that.
I'm just
You
going
know,
to
giving them a
say,
little
not
bit.
knowing much about magic and things like that, Callias would just feed Rilzon the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, he's unconscious, so you know that a little bit would probably wake him up, but a lot will probably heal him.
So Callias, first he takes the arrows out of the guy's hands and is like, I really hope this guy doesn't try to catch arrows again. This doesn't seem to work.
Bare chested against bolts. That's idiocy, I'm telling you.
Okay, so
Yeah, and I'll let you collide. You can roll Crystal for my recovery HP or whatever.
All right, it's 2d4
plus 2.
plus 2. All right. All right, that is a total of 3, 4, 5.
You hear Callias go as you pull the bolts out, and he jumps up and he goes in like a stance, one of his stances, and he looks at both of them and he says, Did you take care of the threat?
And with that, what does RB want to do as he says this is happening?
He would just motion. It's like, they're over there. And he has his sword drawn out, but he's hiding in the shadows so that as soon as the guards would come up that way, he would be ready to slash at him.
Okay, yeah. So you're just basically waiting for them, and when they come around the corner, assuming
Yep.
they come around the corner,
But,
close enough, you're gonna attack them.
I'm actually hiding. Who's going to go into move silently? Does that work?
Well, you're not moving; you're hiding,
There's
right? So you can't.
Hide is different from move silent.
Yeah. I guess not. Okay. Yep. He's just standing there.
I mean, you're hiding in the sense that you're hiding behind the building. You're not hiding in the shadows, which is fine. Yeah, you guys ran. They took one of you. Yeah, they're probably. Let me just see how emboldened they are. Yeah, you hear them coming. They're walking slowly though, and you can actually hear them whispering. You can hear them in the path. They seem to be like coming down towards you, but they don't make it all the way down. And the other thing, actually, roll a hear noise, even though you're not particularly. I'm sure you're just listening in general.
Class?
Klein?
Or
No.
Elias.
Everybody write your name in the chat, please. Sorry.
Yeah, I've got to discern noise too.
Yeah, but you were unconscious.
Okay, it just okay. While I was unconscious.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that while you're like coming up, like there's a chance you might have heard. Did you roll, Crystal?
Oh, I haven't yet. I'm sorry.
All right, good. Now,
I rolled a nat 1.
nice. Cool. Yeah, you hear the movement inside the stables. Actually, what you hear is a horse, like making a sound like horses make when somebody runs past them, and you hear some footsteps coming towards that big door that you guys are basically standing right next to.
Okay. Can Callias snap it at RV and point at the door?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so yeah, Callias snaps at RV, points to the door.
Yeah. So you now hear, just so it's clear, you hear people coming. You hear probably the guys who shot you coming down that like alleyway, slowly and kind of whispering, and you also hear people inside. So you hear multiple people now.
Oh, okay, all right.
It's not. You would imagine it's the same. It's not the same people because you can hear all of them.
RV hearing that says, "Jigs up. We can't go on and do this for the rest of the evening. They know that we're here. We got to get out and come back another night."
Yeah, no, we got to do it now. They'll double the guard. They'll put more people up. We have to do it now. Take care of those guards. Let's do this.
It also could be just employees in the stable.
Exactly. Let's do this. Come on, RV. Get the sword. All right, let's roll initiative.
Okay, so what's the plan? So you're going to wait. If somebody comes around the corner, you're going to attack them with your sword, RV?
RV's going to pop out and charge at the guards.
Oh, okay, you're not going to wait for them. You're just going to... Okay, well,
Yeah.
All right, interesting. How about the rest of you?
Is there any way on those doors? Is the only way into the stable area? Is it just the double doors, or is there like a little side door for people to walk in and out?
There is a side door, but it's up at the top. If you look at that path.
Okay. Yeah, I see it now. Yeah, I see it now. The double doors, is there any way to do they have like the handles, like you could put a board or something across them to keep them from opening or not?
Yeah. Would that be? I would imagine that'd be on the inside, no?
Yeah, it would be. I just wonder if it
Yeah, I was trying to think. Like, I think they would have that, but it'd probably be on the inside. Because otherwise it wouldn't really. Yeah, I would say it's on the inside. Because it's not an open stable. It's like a security place. Yeah.
Yeah, if he sees RV running towards the, he's running to engage the ones outside. I'm gonna try to just stay hid behind one of those big doors in case someone comes out one of the big doors.
Yeah, Callias is gonna grab a dart in his hand, and he will. He's also for now going to kind of stay where he is, see if someone comes out those double doors, and if someone comes out those double doors, then he'll toss that dart at them.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. And okay. So let's roll initiative. I think it's John
again. Yep.
They got 2.
Here we go. I got 3.
Nice. You can go first. All right. So you come barging around the corner and charge at these 2 guys. They have crossbows. They are pretty close to you. And they see you come charging down with this axe. I mean, they're definitely not ready for that. So go ahead and make an attack. You can definitely. They're close enough that you can just move to them and attack.
18 on natural roll +2. That's 20, and that hits -1 armor class.
Nice. That definitely hits.
Okay, and he's using his the bastard sword with 2 hands. It's
Nice.
2d6 +2. Let's see what that gets you. And that does 12 points of damage on one guy.
Yeah, you come out and you literally like cut this first guy in half, and he drops to the ground.
He goes,
yeah, and the crossbow clatters to the ground, and the arrow just like shoots off. You know, it like shoots and sticks into the side of the building. The other guy, his eyes open wide, and then we go to. I mean, technically, they're going to come out the door and you're going to attack. So I guess they technically go first. So this guy with the crossbow, he's going to shoot you, or try to. But because you're so close, I'm going to give him a -2 because you're right up on top of him, and he's not an. And he rolled a 3, so he. Yeah, he basically. You. What happens is you come around the corner, and the one guy has his crossbow, and you slice him, and his crossbow shoots off and sticks into the wall, and the other guy shoots his crossbow bolt into the ground, and then pees on it. And then the big double doors pull out. You hear the block go, and the double doors open, and there's 2 men again, there's kind of these like guards. These guys have short swords in their hands as they pull the door open, but you guys get to jump on them because because you go first in initiative. So you see 2 guards standing there, and each of you can go. Well, hold on. You're going to throw a dart, so your missile goes first.
Okay. All right. Then let's say I rolled I roll a 15 and my dart at a +1. So that's 16 to hit. So I hit armor class 3.
Nice. That hits for sure.
Hey, the attack rate on these is 2-1. So I can make 2 attacks in one turn?
Yeah, if the attack rate is 2-1.
Okay, so can I do that?
Even for you, that's not the specialized attack rate. Then yeah, go for it.
I mean, it just says attack rate 2-1 on the range, so I think it's okay. Okay, cool. The first one hits them for 1 damage.
Nice.
And my second one, I'll be throwing it at the same target.
I don't know that.
So like the first one I already had in my hand, and like I toss it when I see, and then the second one I just kind of pull from my belt and just kind of like toss quickly, and that's a 4 to hit. Hits armor class 4.
That hits.
And that one does 3 damage. So it's like first professional dart throw, and then just like a quick belt shot, and it's like, and they both just kind of stick in the chest.
Yeah, he staggers back, still on his feet though. Now it is Rizalin.
You see him has wrapped the leathers and hides and stuff around his arms and stuff around his hands, and you see the blood that is seeping through from the bolts that hit him. But he runs up to his target and just takes both hands and open hand. I'm going to use an empty hand attack, hopefully. That is armor class 5.
That hits.
And it'll do 3 damage.
Okay, nice. Roll those hit points. Oh, jeez. That kills him.
Oh, he's not trying to kill him. He's trying to knock him out.
That knocks him out?
Yeah, he's trying to knock him out, and he's going to tie him up.
Okay, so let me just see. Okay, so he's at 0. Yeah, he drops. You whack him across the side of the head, and he staggers and falls back. And then the next round. What's everybody's plan for this round?
Seeing Rilzan take care of the other guy,
We didn't see that. But...
Oh, okay. All right.
Callias will take his short sword, and he's just going to run through the guy they threw darts into. Because there was 2 there, right?
Yep, and there's another guy next to you as well, Young. A different.
Yeah, I was going to say, Young. I'm not around there with you. I'm at the front door.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. Yeah,
so
my character's gonna just return the sword and slash at him.
Okay. And how about the monk?
Rilzan is going to try to stay there. No, I tell you, he wants to try to move silently on into the stable to see if he sees any more guards coming.
Okay, perfect. All right, so let's roll initiative. Young? 2 for them.
I got 6.
Nice. All right.
And this round, I get 2 attacks because he has 3 over 2.
That's correct. Missile first. No, melee first. So go ahead, Jan. You can go first.
All right. Oh, for the first one, I rolled 3, so that's a miss.
That misses you. And how about the second one?
Young, you're muted.
Well, yeah, you might be dealing with things. Okay, so we'll just jump over to you guys. We'll go back to him in a second.
I'm back.
Okay, go ahead.
What did you want?
You get 2 attacks. Go for it.
Okay. Oh, brother. I rolled 6, so that's a miss.
You did so good the first round. Now the guy's thinking lucky blow. Okay, so melee. So your missile, which would be if you're throwing. Oh no, using the short sword. So melee still goes before movement. So Callius.
Okay. Let's see. That is a hits armor class 6. No, wait, hold on.
That hits.
No, it only hits armor class 7.
That hits.
Okay, cool. But only 1 point of damage. So so Callius grabs his sword, and unless it kills him, does it kill him?
No.
Okay, so Callius kind of gets nervous and stabs at him, but slashes at his side.
Perfect. Okay, go ahead and what's your move silent ability?
Same as the thief. I don't. What is it, Crystal?
For me, I don't know if you have any dex modifiers. I don't. But my move silently is a 5 and 12.
Yeah,
I rolled a 3.
If you have that's right. That's fine. That passes.
Yeah, if you have a 16 dex.
If you have a 16,
yeah, I got a 16 dex. I did have a 6. That's exactly
so you got
my
6
dex.
and 12 then. Yeah, so you move up, and there's a lot of noise going on anyway. So you do actually see this particular building. Now you take a second to see it. Inside the building is a wagon directly to your left, and as you kind of creep past it, behind that is where kind of the horses are. You see there's a staircase, and going up, it's kind of blocked from your view, but you know it's a staircase. You hear footsteps running down the staircase. At least 2 more people coming.
He's going to try to stay hid there somewhere and hopefully surprise them when they run up there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you are where you are, when they come around the corner, you'll get an attack on them because they don't,
Yeah, he's definitely going to do that, man.
Okay, so let me just 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, cool. And now it's their turn. So the guy out in the alleyway with the crossbow, he drops it and draws his sword to confront the barbarian. He's a little embarrassed that he was scared of you before because you missed him twice. And he rolls a 13, which don't think hits you because I think I needed a 15 to hit you before. 13 is AC 6. However, he's in melee combat with you, and you're only 1 hit die, so he actually gets 3 attacks.
Oh, man.
Yep. 14 misses because he's a 15 hit you, and an 8 misses. So he misses you 3 times.
Harvey looks at him, and he goes, really? Seriously? He gives him that look.
He's like, no. And then the other guy that's on our KLS also gets 3 attacks.
And he's going to hit me every single time.
You never know. Let's see. 14. What's your AC? I'll look what he needs.
My AC is a 7.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, he is going to hit you every time. He only needs a 12 to hit you. Does that hit you? 1. Oh, my God. He critted.
Great.
And then misses. Okay, so I'll do the regular hit
I'm going to
first.
be dead.
Yeah, maybe. It's only short sword, though, so it's not too bad. 4 points. And then for the crit.
Down to 2 HP.
Oh, the crit is because he's a fighter. It's the triple damage. Hold on, let me roll it.
Good
So even if I roll a 1, it's still more than enough to kill you. 2, so 6 points.
Negative
so you're
4 HP. Yep.
Yeah, you're negative, whatever you are negative. Because remember, you don't die until.
Yeah, negative 4.
Okay, but you are bleeding out because after negative 3, you're bleeding out. So you get stabbed and you fall to the ground bleeding. And you're like, oh, I shouldn't have given that healing potion. And you know. I should go to the ground. Holy crap. This is going
I'm glad
sideways.
I would have been dead without if I hadn't. So I mean, I don't regret giving the healing potion.
No, of course not. You would you did the fatal move there was that there was 3 dogs, I guess, and that you split the party. Okay, that's the end of that round. So next round, what does everybody want to do? I guess I know what Tony's character is doing. You're gonna wait until
till one of them runs by while I hopefully surprise and reach out and strike them.
Okay.
I would like to lay on the ground and bleed out if I can do that.
I think they can allow for that. Yeah, sure. And
Okay,
Avi,
cool.
what you and your sword dancing guy out there, what do you guys want to do?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to try to end it. So let me roll the initiative.
All right. Yep. So go ahead. Initiative.
I got 5. Do I add my dex modifier on top of
No.
that? Okay,
No, not for
gotcha.
that.
All right.
He rolled 2, so you go first. Melee goes first, so go ahead.
Here we go. Oh, natural 20. Nice.
Okay, so before you roll damage, roll a d6 so we can see what your crit is.
All right. 1.
1. All right, so plus 2 damage. So go ahead and roll your damage and add 2 to it.
Okay. So I rolled it together, so that's 5 plus 6 plus 2. That's 8 points of damage plus 2 for the crit, right? So 10
That
points
crit
of
just
damage.
saved you. He had 10 hit points.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you chop into him with your sword and he drops
Nice.
to the ground.
Is he carrying a shield by any chance?
He is, actually.
Okay, he's going to pick up that shield.
Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
You are now shielded. Yeah, he had a shield, a short bow, and a crossbow, which is falling on the ground. He's wearing like leathers, I guess. His armor class is 8 with no shield, so I guess that's leather armor. Doesn't actually say. So they come down the stairs. So yeah, you definitely can surprise them because they're rushing and they're not expecting you're inside. And you pass your hiding or sneaking rather. So you can go ahead and make an attack.
Yep, he's gonna try, strike one of them empty-handed. Oh no. That only hits armor class 8.
No, it hits him. That's their armor.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. They don't
All right,
have
to do 2 damage then.
Right.
2 damage.
Nice.
Let's see what hit points this guy has. Oh, no. You hit the big guy. He doesn't like he's annoyed, but it doesn't. Yeah. This is now where I was saying to you before. This is where straight fighters are powerful because you are 1 hit die, which means he gets double the attacks, and he specializes with the short sword. He gets 3 attacks per round, and there's 2 of them. So this is going well. 19. That's going to hit you. I feel like you might go down now. 9. 9 is probably not going to hit you though. 9 doesn't hit anything. Oh my god, a crit. Okay, so the first guy hits you twice and does 1 point, and then for the crit, oh my god, no, I rolled a 6 for the crit, which is 3 times damage. And then, oh no, but 3 times a 1, so 4 total.
4 damage total?
Does that kill you?
That would take me to 0, but
Yeah,
can I use I don't know how to use this. Let me read it real quick because I don't say if I have to use my round or that cellular adjustment where I can automatically recover 2 HP each day.
Oh, I'm assuming that's part of your...
Probably be on my round.
Yeah, you know what though? What I'll do is
My turn?
I'll say you go down to 0, and if you can make like a saving throw next round, you can just do it kind of like your body will just naturally do it while you're unconscious.
All right.
We'll say that because I mean you're a monk, so I think that's kind of monkish to heal like that. Okay, so you killed the guy outside. Are you here fighting inside the building? Crystal, your character, Kalius loses 1 hit point. And what do you want to do there, Avi? You're the only one standing.
Harvey's gonna rush in there.
Okay.
I mean, he thinks that there's still fighting going on, so there's a chance.
Okay.
But on this round, would he get 2 attacks?
No, because you're not going to be able to get to him.
Oh, I got you.
Well, hold on, let me just measure the distance. I think that you would have to actually charge him. When you charge, you don't get the 2 attacks. Because it resets that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're 5 squares away, which is 25 feet. You're over here. 1, 2, 3. That's 15, 20. You'd have to be able to move 40. What's your move? I don't think it's 45. I think only monks get additional movement. You only get regular movement, right, as a barbarian? You don't get anything special. Let me just check it. I know monks get extra movement.
Yeah,
Your base movement is
Yeah, my movement is 40.
yeah.
It's on the character sheet. So do I have to charge in order to do that, or?
No, you can actually, because they're 45 feet away, and that puts you within 5 feet, which is melee. So you can actually just make a regular move and get there. Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, he does that. Hold on.
Yeah, there's 2 guys standing there over your monk friend.
All right, so he charges in. He's actually wielding that shield. Maybe I should not be doing that, but anyway, he charges in and slashes at the one nearest him.
Okay.
Do I have to roll initiative to do that?
Yeah, we're gonna do initiative now. Okay, here we go. They got a 4.
Oh, they got 4. Here we go. Oh man, I got 2. That's screwed.
All right, so you're gonna charge. I mean, technically, they like the way everything works. They wouldn't actually be able to. They don't know you're there, right? So like they wouldn't be charging towards you. So what I'm gonna say is, even though they won initiative, you're still going to get to attack them first. Shouldn't even bother because it wouldn't make sense. Like, how would they not? And one of them is actually bending down to like tie the monk up. So yeah, they're totally distracted. So I have a feeling that you should go first. What I'll do is, just to make it even, since you did lose initiative, is I'll let you take 1 attack, and then they'll go, and then you can take another attack.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna attack the one that's standing. Oh, I don't think that matters. I roll 7, so plus
I don't think
2,
a 7's in anything unless you
9. I hit armor class 10.
no.
Okay.
Armor class 10 is like a bunny rabbit.
Yep.
Well, actually, bunny rabbits are fast. All right, they're gonna get to go. So the guy that's standing that wasn't tying up the monk is now about to chop down at you with 3 blasts.
Oh, brother.
3 on the die misses. 18 is gonna hit you, I'm sure. And 10. 10 I don't think hits, because I think I said I needed a 15 to hit you, right? Yeah, 10's only gonna hit armor class 9, so that does not hit you. So you get hit once with a short sword, just a regular hit, for 2 points.
Oh, I'm still standing. Can't believe it.
Okay. 1 more. 1 more attack. Go for it.
Come on down. Right. So I hit armor class 8.
That hits because they don't have shields. These guys.
All right. And that, because I'm using my shield this round, it's D8 plus 2. 8 plus 2, 10 points.
That's enough. You chop down the big guy. These kind of scrawnier guy that's tying up the monk. Let's see what happened to the monk. Go ahead and make a save and see if you
All right.
cough life back into yourself.
Oh man, a 19, so I made it.
All right, so you open your eyes as this guy's bending over you. I'm going to roll to see if he's surprised. You might get a free attack. Yeah, he's totally surprised. Actually, what happens is, like, you open your eyes just as he looks away and sees his buddy getting slammed. So you could actually get an attack on him if you want.
Yeah, when he looks back at me real quick, to see that I'm back awake or whatever, I cough and spit up blood into his face, and then I just take the hand behind him and try to drive his hand straight into his face and knock him out.
Nice.
Hot dog, an 18 on the die, so I know that's going to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hit like AC 1, so 2 damage.
Okay. He staggers back. He's still up. I'm assuming that you're both going to attack him with melee this round.
Yep.
So let's roll initiative. I think you lost that time, right, Young? So Tony, you roll initiative.
Oh man, come on, D6. Ooh, a 5.
They also got a 5. What's your
Oh
dex?
man, my dex is 16.
Okay, I think you're going to beat them. Let me check their dex. Their dex is 11. So go ahead. You go first.
Yeah, he's just going to try to punch the guy and knock him out again with his.
And Crystal, you're down 1 hit point.
Ooh, another good roll with 17, so that's going to hit, but only 1 damage.
You only have 1 left.
Oh wow, yeah, he'll knock him out, man.
Yeah, that guy only has 3 hit points.
He looks towards Arby and he goes, "Where's our friend at?"
Arby's like about to fall over. He's like, I don't know.
Rilzan starts running where he last knew that Kalias was then, outside.
Yeah, you see him laying in the in a pool of blood right by the entrance. You kind of go down quickly and check and check the very shallow breathing. unconscious, bleeding out for sure. You hear movement on the floor above you because it's a 2-story thing, obviously, but nobody else is coming down right this second.
Yeah, Rilzon is going to try to, if Arvy's still acting, he can't, he's hurt real bad. Rilzon is just going to reach down and grab Callias and start firing and carrying him towards the gate to get out.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Arvy's gonna follow. He's gonna be like, jigs up, and he's spitting up blood.
Okay, so you're fast, so you can blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it's going to take you another 2 rounds to get over the gate with him. Yeah, so what would that put you at, Crystal?
2 more rounds, -8.
Okay, so you're still alive when you get over the fence, but he is bleeding out heavily. So
And the gate, you said we could open the gate from the inside?
Yeah.
No problem?
2 rounds to get through the gate. So basically, I'm assuming you're just running out of the gate, not trying to climb over it.
Oh, yeah. If the gate's openable, yeah.
Yeah, you would realize that if you don't stop and patch her up or him up soon, you're going to, lose your companion.
I don't guess I don't guess I have any. We don't have any way to do anything. No, do
You have any bandages?
So where are we at this point?
You're on the street right outside the gate.
Okay.
Rilzan has no medical stuff, but he would take one of his leather belts, or he could use that, I guess, huh?
Yeah, that's fine. Anything rips some clothes off, it's a cloth or a belt. Or
could we go into the nearby warehouse or something like that?
You could, but he's bleeding really bad. If you want to try to make it there first, that's fine. But
okay,
warehouse, no.
Arvy's gonna try to patch her up or patch him up real quick too.
Okay.
All right. What do I roll?
You have to roll anything as long as you have something to do with.
Okay.
It's just gonna take a round or so.
Yeah.
I'll use. Like I said, I have all these belts. I can use one of them belts to staunch the bleeding.
If Rilzon's doing that, then Arvy's gonna take out his bow and he's gonna be getting ready to fire his bow at whoever would be coming after him.
Okay, let me just check something.
When you rip Callias's clothes open in order to heal him, a pair of breast falls out. Well, not literally. He has breast on his chest.
Oh, okay.
Just when you said fell out, I was like, hold on, what?
I'm thinking, good Lord, I wouldn't go that far to tie a belt around you.
Pick them up, guys.
I mean, it was a crit.
It's so good.
Not literally, just he had breast that he had bound.
Got it.
You see, as you're patching your companion up, a figure standing in the doorway of the house, kind of where that path was. You see the door open. You see somebody standing there, a slim figure. She, you can tell with the long hair, is holding in her hand, it looks like maybe a slender dagger. And she just opens the door and she's just staring at you from that 20 or 30 feet away.
While I'm doing the bandage or whatever.
Yep. Yeah. You look up and you hear the door or whatever, and you look up and you see that somebody is standing in the doorway looking at you.
Yeah, I ignore her. I don't really let Arvy handle whatever he wanted to do on that.
Yeah. I mean, did you want to do anything, Arvy, when you see this person standing in the doorway?
Yeah, I realized that I was muted. Arvy points his short bow at her, but says, "I don't want to shoot you. I just want to kill your husband." Will you let her? Will you let us kill your husband?
Okay, so she says, she looks at you and she kind of smirks, and she says, "Bring your friend to the stables."
Arvy looks at him. His reel's on. Callias is gonna die unless we get him something quick. This is our only chance. Let's go.
We both find our death in this stable. You carry Callias in there. I will watch for other things.
All right. Yeah, he swings Callias over his shoulder and walks up towards her.
Okay. Are you also following?
Yeah, I'm staying a good 20 feet back though, behind them, because he's watching for some surprise from someone.
Yeah, I mean, if you walk to the, back into the stables there with the body of your friend, the unconscious body who's now tied up and no longer bleeding out. She doesn't step out of the doorway until she knows until you're out of the view with the bow pointed at her. But she also goes behind, what's that? Like she's not gonna walk between the two of you. Like she waits till he goes in there and then you're following behind him. She walks towards you, but she stays behind you.
Oh yeah, he's walking, but he's watching her.
You guys are kind of looking at each other. She has this like long dagger and she's kind of she's got it in her hand, but it's kind of just like lazily hanging down by its side. And as you guys get into the security of the stables, she kind of walks in with you. And she looks around and she says, perhaps we could help each other out here. And as you're looking at her, everybody roll a d20 and try to roll under or equal to your wisdom.
Well, I got a decent wisdom, but I failed.
Oh, no.
I got wisdom of 12, but I roll 7. So
What about Callias? Or is Callias just out of it?
Yeah, you're basically out of it. There's at -8 hit points like that. There's no bringing you back right now. Unfortunately, I'm sorry.
Well, you passed, RV, if you rolled a 7 out of 12.
Yeah, you passed. So you realize this woman is not only much shorter than you would expect her to be, she's also like clearly in her young 20s, and not buxom at all. So she says, you want to kill my husband? And she kind of smiles a little bit.
And I thought you were taller too, he says.
She laughs. She says, I thought you were taller.
Do we see that if she's wearing the
He smiles. He's Pictish.
necklace or whatever?
She does. She has the big necklace around her neck. You can see it in the picture maybe there. She says, I know what you're here for, besides killing him. And
You're a smart woman. And then he eyes the heart.
she says, how about we make a deal? I will turn my blind eye to your desire to kill that fat piece of, and she uses some profanity. And she says, and give you this, and she kind of holds it up a little bit. And she says, if we make arrangements that when you drop it off to who I know hired you to get it, you give me that information. Because what I want to know is who was behind this robbery. And I know it's not you. You don't have it about you.
Well, to tell you the truth, I just want your husband dead because he cheated me out of my pommel gem. Holds up his sword. But you're a smart woman. You can probably figure out who's the rival in this town. I won't say his name because he'll probably kill me.
Well, you don't need to say his name, but if you make arrangements to meet him with this, and she holds it up, where I let you know like a good place for it, then you can be completely innocent to anything that might happen. She smiles.
Sounds like a deal. I don't know anything about this.
Okay, she eyes over at Roseanne.
Yeah, Real's on it, hearing all this and hearing Arby's intent and all that. He says nothing. He doesn't reply. He stands there stone-faced. He doesn't agree or disagree.
Well, it only takes one of you to do
Well,
what I need. She says, he's in the guest room. Make it quick and quiet, please. There's innocence in the house.
is he sleeping?
I don't know, probably.
Realzan's staying with Callias in the barn.
Okay. Yeah, she basically quickly tells you where it is. Essentially, she says you go into the house and you go. I'm just going to show you the actual map so you can see it. But she basically explains where it is. It's on the second floor. And the door's open, so you can just walk right in. Let me just, I'll just screen share this.
Yeah, considering that RV only has 1 hit point, he's got to be like, Hey, you got some bandages.
Well, I mean, the bandages don't give you any hit points. How do you share your screen? I know there's a way to do it. Advanced share.
Oh, there's like in my deal down in the middle, there's a big green arrow. It says share screen.
Oh, is that
Like
what that is?
like in the toolbar
Yeah.
or whatever.
I see. It's like a giant thing that says share. Like, where's the share thing? It's like right there. Oh, man. Hold on. Why isn't...
Well, what's funny, it's the only thing that has like a different, it's green and every other buttons are white.
Yeah. Can you see it? Because now I can't see anything. Can you see
Yep,
the
I
screen?
see it.
All right. So you can see the map over here. Can you see my mouse when I do that?
Yep.
All right. So basically, you come in through this door here, and you go up the stairs, and I think it's 14. Let me just check. Can you see everything or just the map? You can't see my other screen, can you?
Just the map. That's
Okay,
all I
yeah.
see.
I mean, not that it's, you're not really seeing anything. I just have the module open in another window. No, it's not that one. It is number 12, maybe. It's 11. So she tells you where it is. So basically, you go up the stairs, blah, 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 up these stairs right here. And then when you come out here, you go down to this one, number 11. And she says that that's where he's at. And she says, be quick about it. So if you want to do that, enter into the house, you can do that. And you're going to stay out with the woman?
Yeah, because Arby's not here to murder anybody. I mean, he's got qualms with Gaul, but yeah, he's not here to murder him.
So when you go up to you know, when you go into the house, it looks exactly like she said. So you come in, there's a set of stairs. You know, you walk up cautiously. You're on the second floor. You make a left. You walk down to the end of the hallway. There's a door. You can even actually see there's some windows there. You do notice they're barred, but you know, whatever. You need now to move silent. What's your move silent roll?
Fine.
Although it's technically, I think, supposed to be outside for them.
Move silent is 5/12.
Uh-oh. Yeah, so you crack the door open and you see a big heavy man snoring in the bed.
Arby looks at his sword and looks at that snoring man. I was hoping that he would attack me.
You see sitting on the bedside table right next to him, the pummel jewel.
Yeah. While keeping his eyes on him, he walks up to the pummel jewel, picks it up and pockets it. And he walks up to the bed.
He's snoring.
Yeah, he raises his sword over the guy and says, and he kicks him instead of swinging the sword.
You kick him?
Yeah, he kicks him real hard.
He looks at you. His eyes open. He says, "You
look at me as I slash at you, you fat bastard."
No.
He's looking at you.
And then while he holds his sword, it's like, "Don't move," he says. And he unsheathes his dagger and toss it over to him on the bed.
Oh, you throw him a dagger?
Yeah.
Oh, this is very Western.
Yeah.
If you throw a dagger to him, he's gonna try to grab the dagger and stab you with it.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
roll initiative. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna do that.
I mean, he's not even gonna hesitate because he thinks he's dead. So roll initiative. He got a 2.
3.
All right. You throw the dagger. He grabs it in the blanket and tries to kind of come at you with it. And
All right. So,
I mean, he's naked, so his armor class is he's got like a shirt on. Probably his armor class is 9.
okay. I roll 15.
That definitely is.
Yeah. And he slashes at him with the sword and does 5 + 1 + 2, 8 points of damage on him.
Oh my god. I don't know if he's. Oh yeah, he's a 27th level magic user. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, shoot. Oh, man.
No, he's a
I
commoner.
almost had a heart attack there.
He turns into a demon. Yeah, you cut him deeply with the sword, and he drops the dagger on the ground, and he falls to the ground bleeding. You can see that he's like, again, he's just had like, well, now it's all bloody, but had like a long like silk like sleeping shirt, and around his neck, maybe you see it. He has a necklace with a key at the end of it, that he sleeps with, and he's wearing some rings and stuff. But otherwise, he had nothing on him. Like he wasn't dressed in armor or anything. He was sleeping.
Yeah, I mean, he just, he's got what he wanted. He's got the pommel gem, and he walks up there and grabs a dagger, his own dagger, and sheaths it, and he walks out.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot. This guy's a level 27 wizard. I would like to retcon the whole "I kick him awake" thing, please.
So you do that. You come back out. She looks at you. She nods. She says, she pulls the llama's heart from around her neck, and she says, "Just so you know, you can be found very easily." And she kind of just holds it out for you, and she says, "Warehouse number 7, in 2 nights. Have him meet you there."
I can't guarantee that. If he's savvy enough, then he may want to determine the place of meeting.
Well, if that's the case, then you'll let me know.
Then I won't be innocent anymore.
You were never innocent. When you make
Fair
a deal,
You just murdered a man, and you're not innocent.
when you make a deal, you keep your part of it.
Fair enough.
And then she kind of like, she's still holding that knife in her hand, but again, she's like dangling from her fingers. She just kind of looks at the monk, and she winks, and then she walks back to the house.
I want to remain innocent. Like cameras, like goes around to show all the dead guards laying around, like blood just pooling everywhere around their bodies.
Hey, that's part of the job. They got their own code, Yeah. So he scratches his head, and it's like, warehouse. Looks to Rilzon. You remember which one?
Rilzon looks towards you and he goes, "My purpose right now is to take Elias to a doctor. I am finished. My part of this mission is over. You do what you wish and what you desire. You can, if you receive payment, you can have our employer tell him to send my payment." And he gives you a parchment with the name of a temple wrote down. But yeah, he's going to try to get Elias to a doctor.
Yeah, you definitely do that. I mean, you would know, somebody that you probably encountered at a bar or something. You've been living in the town for a bit, that probably can get you to some place to get some healing services. I mean, so you have the llama's heart, Avi, and you know how to make contact with the guy. So what is it that you want to do? So let's how does this end?
Yeah,
let's do that. Let's do the how does it end part here. So let's start with the healing of in Crystal's character. Let's do that. You get to be last. So let's do Razan. So Tony, how does this end for Razan?
Yeah, Razan takes Elias to a known physician that he knows of and trusts, and leaves in their care to nurse them back to health. And he takes his leave of the city, knowing that the consequences that are coming on it for everyone. And the only regret he has is he didn't get to face Garrus as far as in person. He had a letter for Garrus he was going to give him as they took the jewel, hopefully in front of Garrus, and he had no idea that his companion was going to just flat out murder Garrus, because he wasn't there to murder anybody. He was there to pretty much embarrass and show that they extorted from him the way that Garrus had extorted one of his family members one time, which caused him to go completely bankrupt and lose his business and commit suicide. So that's what he was there as far as payback. But yeah, Razan, he leaves before any of that plays out. And, he sent a letter with Arvi to give to our employer to donate money to a temple. And he doesn't hang around to see if Callias fully recovers or not. You just see Razan kind of disappear in the shadows, and that's how the story ends for him.
Wandering around just like Kane from Kung Fu. Okay, so how does it end for Callias? You get healed, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess Callias probably wakes up sometime later, and like his clothes are kind of ruined. He really doesn't know if they finished the job or not, so he has to assume that they probably, things went bad. However that ends with the employer and stuff will determine if he ever figures out what happened. But you would see as he's getting out of bed at the end, and again, like with his clothes off mostly and stuff, you see that he has this female figure, but he binds himself up and puts his clothes back on, and he has his hair down, and just before he walks out, he looks over to the bedpost to see that bandana that he had, and he takes it and uses it to tie his hair up again, and checks himself in the mirror and nods and puts his mirror away.
Nice. So you're in hiding. All right. So what does Avi do?
Well, I, the player, do not remember the warehouse, but
Arvi
Arvi
is, it doesn't matter. Whatever. It's arbitrary.
Yeah, I mean, Arvi is like, pretty smart. So, yeah, he does as he's told, and he arranges the meeting at that particular warehouse. And he says, "I'll let you pick it up, the heart, as you promised, 1,200, 200 gold pieces." And he leaves, and decides to meet with that contact in that particular warehouse. And he's not trying to pull anything, he's just, carries a pouch with that heart there and meets him. I don't know how it's going to play out.
Right. So, So you set up the meeting, and he's a little bit hesitant to meet specifically where you said you think that he's maybe a little bit, but maybe you explain, or he finds out through the grapevine that it went bad and that the guy was killed and everything. So he's probably thinking you're on the lam. So I rolled to see if he would check, and he does. He goes with his two bodyguards, very confident, dressed really nice with that wig and not having a care in the world. And you meet him there at the warehouse, and you show him the heart. He looks at it. He takes it in his hand. And he looks at you. He says, "You fool!" And he throws it on the ground. It shatters. He's like, "That was glass. I want the real." He starts to berate you, and as he does, a number of arrows start to pincushion him and his Amazon bodyguards. And after you hit the ground, whatever, and like it's chaos for like about 20 seconds, and in the end, he's laying there dead with his two escorts, and you see the woman. She comes to you and she says, "Well done, and you're free to take your payment." And she looks down. You can see that he had like a pouch on him, and then she turns around and walks away.
Arvi, without saying anything, he grunts, and then picks up that pouch and disappears into the night.
All right, and there's 1,200 gold pieces in there, and there you go. So there it is. Thanks for playing, guys.
Yeah, we see all these wanted posters of Arvi over and over.
Well, yeah, I mean, interestingly enough, it kind of went an interesting way. And if you use these characters again, or even if you don't, this will probably tie into the next adventure, because the next adventure in the you know, the next adventure in this module is in the same town and everything. So you'll probably you'll get some more info then. So I'll stop the recording. Thanks for playing, guys.